Alright, welcome to Unbound Chapters podcast. Today we're going to be reviewing a very short story. Very, very short story. It is called Trick or Treat by Hannah Altagracia. It's very short.
So short.
Yeah. I can actually tell you how short. I took a note, and the book starts on page 5, and then it ends on page 16.
But the total number was 19.
19 pages. Yeah.
19.
And do you want to talk about what the story is before we talk about some opinion or things?
So, it's kind of like a girl is house sitting for her parents, and she finds out that, like, the girl she's been pining for that lives at, like, her backyard neighbor.
I literally said pining as well.
The girl she's, like, just staring at, and her whole life, basically, bought the house that her parents used to live in behind her parents' house. And they invite her to
Has been pining for her next door neighbor for years.
yeah, and they invite her to a Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
And she decides to show up early. And then shit gets weird.
Yeah, it's it was a lot for me. Yeah, I pretty much said the same thing. What the story is about. When she did go over to her house, it was like the lame trick or treat because it's like Halloween. So she was like, "Oh, haha, trick or treat," and the girl was like, "Treat for sure, like, give me something." Yeah, and then it really just escalated from there. It's like the girl, the main character, her name is like Trish. She seems like meek and shy. Like a little bit, like looking at the girl like out her window for like years, like cannot say anything.
I think she was more like that when they were like living behind each other, but like when she went to college or her job, I can't remember which one, and she like was there for a while, I think she started to like open up.
Yeah, I think so too. But then like just having to like calm yourself down before you go over to someone that's like, all right, be cool, like I haven't seen her in years, it's fine. Yeah, it was like her chance to like see this girl again that she's like not been in love with, but like really.
She knew she was married though. She went over there and she was talking about like, oh, I'm about to see this chick. I've been looking at her in bikinis my whole life.
Yeah, and now she's went off to college and now she's married, and so like I think it said that she bought the parents' house. So like she's gonna always be like living there now, so if she wasn't house sitting, she never would have been over there. How do you feel overall about the story? Like that's pretty much minus the spicy scenes, which I think we'll get to. That's pretty much overall what the story is kind of about. It literally started on page 5, and I checked. The first spicy thing happened on page 7, halfway down page 7. So like half of page 5 and page 6 was just like the smallest backstory you could like imagine, and then 7 it's like it's go time. So what do you think? Like I was really like taken aback. It was a lot for me. It was a lot.
My overall score out of 5. I gave it a 0.
I was generous. I gave it a 2. I was generous.
No. I would have liked it more if there would have been like some familiarity at least.
Yeah. Like
I was not introduced to the characters that much.
Yeah.
It just was like, hi, this is my name. This is why I love this chick.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's bang.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, hubby's coming too.
Yeah. Yeah. My overall rating, I gave it a 2, just because I don't think the writing was awful.
I don't think so.
I mean, the writing, like, was fine. I just wasn't into the writing, like, into the words. But, like, it felt like it was just a chapter out of a bigger book. Like, that's what it could have seemed like. I feel like there could have been more to the story. I mean, it was written for just, like, a palate cleanser or something in between books, so I'm sure she wasn't thinking, like, oh, this has to be, like, the shortest bestseller, like, that kind of thing, but...
Yeah.
Like,
I gave it a 0 just because, like, I was uncomfortable reading it.
I was also very uncomfortable reading it. I just feel like... I
love the smutty scenes, but, like,
yeah.
She said asshole way too many times. So many assholes.
And, like, I feel like that happened, like, very quickly. For someone not doing it, for someone who's never done that before, and then suddenly it's just like, oh,
she said she's done that before. She said she wasn't a virgin. She said
her ass was a virgin. Yeah. So, saying, like, okay, here's a finger and here's some lube, suddenly here's, like, a massive, you know, I don't know what you could say on YouTube, but here's a massive schlong, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't understand how it just happened, you know, so quick. And, yeah. I mean, I just said that it was a bit rushed. Like, things happened, like, too quickly for me. It's like, yeah, so the neighbor, the girl, Trish, she's been, like, pining for this girl. They haven't seen each other since they've both been away at college.
When the... what's her name?
Sierra.
When Sierra moved away for college in New York.
Yeah.
That's the last time she saw her.
Yeah, so it was just like, okay, I haven't seen this girl for years, and even when we lived next to each other, we didn't have, like, the most contact, and suddenly, come to my house, I'm literally about to eat you out, and my husband's gonna fuck you, have sex with you. I don't know what you can say on YouTube.
I don't either.
Apologies. Like, yes, I wrote that in my thing. Oh, I put Sierra as, like, more bossy and in control, and then the husband, I wrote his name down. His name is Rick. I said, kind of just there. He seemed pointless. Like, yeah, he had sex with the girl, but...
And she was, like, his glistening abs or something like that, and I was like, ew.
Yeah. Like...
Because he was... I think she said he was, like, glistening from a workout or something. So he was sweaty.
Yeah. So, I talked about, like, scene opinions. I mean, pretty much the whole book was spicy scenes.
And then it just, like, didn't finish the scene.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of okay with.
I'm happy that it didn't finish the scene. I mean, they finished, but I feel like it was just, we finished and, haha, let's go to the pool.
Well, before they even went to the pool, she was like, let me eat you out right quick.
Yeah. And then it was like, let's go to the pool, and then, haha, your turn, trick or treat. Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, the way that she was, I feel like we should start at the beginning before I do that, though. So, she walks into her neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I pick treat. And then she was like, well, come back to the pool. I got a treat for you, baby. And she sits down on a pool chair.
Yeah, she's not, like, tanning chair.
Out.
Yeah.
Just pulls the bikini to the side and starts touching herself. What?
Yeah. I feel like, how do you even know? Just because you check someone out doesn't mean you're, like, attracted to them. Like, checking someone out doesn't have to be, like, a sexual thing. You should be like, oh, you can just be, like, looking at their outfit. I don't know what her face was showing. I know she had a crush on that Sierra girl, but, like, she's like, holy shit, like, she's checking me out, too.
Did she describe what she looked like other than her titties and her ass?
No, she said she had curves, yeah, tits and ass, and then I'm pretty sure that was all she said. So I don't know what this girl looks like, but suddenly she's just some kind of person who just sits down and exposes herself. Yeah. Like, without even, oh, are you into me? Just, oh, I've seen you looking at me, like, okay, what if it was a coincidence? What if I just was out looking out my window and I just so happened to see you in a bathing suit.
Yeah, she's
You
like,
know?
watch this.
Yeah, and then she was like, I'm gonna show you like tricks, or I'm gonna show you something, and then you need to do it back to me.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna do it to you, and you have to do it back to me.
Yeah.
But, like, she's not a virgin, so
yeah,
like,
she's 25 years old. Like I said, she was 25.
She even said that she wasn't a virgin. It just had been a while.
Yeah. She was like, I'm gonna teach you how to do something. It's like, and you're gonna do it back to me. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, their scene, like, it was cringe, but it wasn't, like, awful, which is why I gave...
You still gave it a 0.
No, I gave the scene.
Oh.
The scene a 1. Overall, I gave it a 0 because I was uncomfortable. But I gave the scene because, you know, it was a scene a 1.
Yeah,
But then, yeah.
I just said that, like, I don't care for, like, girl-on-girl situations. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't care to, like, read it. But even the parts with the husband, I just felt, like, yuck.
When he stepped in, the cringe I got,
it, like,
and it
jumped.
wasn't like he's a weirdo. It was like a...
Yeah.
I was...
But then, like, even what that girl said, she was like, he's doing all this for you, like, you better make him come,
yes.
like, relax, first of all. Like, who said, she didn't say, yes, do it to me, like...
And then the amount of the times that she was like, I screamed so loud, I bet the neighbors heard me.
Like,
Did
relax.
they think I was a Halloween decoration
come on. There's
or a scary movie?
Yo, there's a big difference between Halloween decoration, a scary movie, and someone screaming in pleasure. And listen, I don't care how good you think your whoever does things to you. The slightest touch does not make you scream in pleasure. Calm down. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's not even just this book. Like, I hate reading that in any kind of book.
Yeah.
So it's like, my knees are shaking, or, like, I almost came just from the touch, or he looked at me. No, you didn't. Like, calm down.
Like, I've read butt action before, but there was something about this one. She was just like, I've never had that before. She's like, you're gonna have it today.
Yeah.
Like, consent.
Yeah, she really just,
it was there, but, like, it wasn't there enough to make me comfortable.
Yeah, like, she was just bossy to the point where I feel like this girl was just doing it because she had a crush on the other girl. She was like, yes, I'll do it.
She's screaming, and all he's doing is, like, this.
Yeah. Relax. So...
And then he just shoves it in with no problem.
Yeah, I mean, a finger, and apparently how gargantuan this dude's thing is. Come on. You relax a little bit.
Yeah, and then she just kept saying, like, my asshole. My asshole.
Yeah, she said it's
asshole
and it's like italicized. Like, it makes it sound fancy. It's like, asshole. Relax. Yeah, I mean, I did give the book a 2 out of 5. I was generous, but also the spice, I was very generous. I did 4 out of 5 just because the amount of pages to the spice was a lot. Which I know a lot of people enjoy that. So if you really like a lot of consistent spicy scenes, I think you'll enjoy this. And I don't personally read, like, a lot of only human books. So I feel like that was why I was a bit more, like, uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but, like, and didn't enjoy it as much. It's just, like, a little bit too real. And I'm like, so based on the amount of pages, I mean, Spice started on 7 all the way to, like, 16?
Yeah.
It was, like, constant. Something was happening. That's why I did 4 out of 5. But from my own personal enjoyment, I'd give it a 2.
I mean, yeah, based on that, I would probably switch up my score a little bit, but I personally need emotional connection.
Yeah, not right out the gate. You're gonna do this.
Yeah, I know that they, like, know each other, and she's been, like, after her, not after her, but, like, she's been into her since, like, they were little, and she understand that she liked girls, but, like, I felt like there was no emotion to it, and it felt like I was, like, watching porn, and I feel like, I know porn can have emotions, but to me, it felt like watching one of those, like, like, cringy porns.
Yeah.
And I need more of a story to enjoy a scene.
Yeah.
I need to build
that
the
one and a half,
the
2 pages of little backstory was not
I need to see the relationship grow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you really, really like a lot of continuous spice, you'll enjoy the book. I will say minus...
like, even just watching porn, I feel like it's perfect. Because even just the way that she, like, phrased stuff did remind me of, like, a porn video.
It's like, my turn.
It did remind me of, like, a porn video, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Like, except for how not doing anal, like, ever, and then doing it for the first time, how fast it happened, I feel like that was the most unrealistic part. But everything else, I feel like it was pretty realistic and possible.
I feel like the husband part was a little bit unrealistic as well, just because she had a connection with the girl, and then she meets the husband that instant before he shoves inside of her.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might do that.
Yeah.
It just felt a little strange.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you've only known the girl. You knew she was married, but you didn't go to the wedding. You didn't, do
Yeah, they weren't even, like,
anything.
friends when she was... Well, they might have been, but she didn't say it in the story that they were friends.
Yeah.
She was just like, oh, I've been staring at this girl through the window all these years.
And then it's like, towards, the end, it's just like, oh yeah, haha, I told you to come before everyone else for the Halloween party, like, this was planned.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
I didn't like that she was like, oh, I'm glad I gave you an earlier time so that we could do this. Because that...
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
That's ambushy.
Yeah,
And that also made me uncomfortable.
I feel like, to be fair, if it was a longer story and we had more leading up to that, I would have been fine with,
Same.
oh, I invited you over earlier.
Same.
If it would have been better.
Like, she was watching her mom's house for a week, and, like, the second or third day, and she was, like, invited to the party, and they would have done something, I would have been fine. Just give me a day.
Yeah.
Give me a day.
a little bit more.
Don't give me two seconds.
Yeah, I definitely
starts happening.
feel like if there was something before leading up to all of this, the inviting someone over a few hours before a party I would have felt like, okay, this makes sense. Maybe we know now that they both like each other, and this is, like, the first time they've been able to, like, act on their feelings, but not just, I'm glad I did this.
I did kind of like her writing style, though. Like, her characters weren't, like, too annoying in their speech, and even... I know the guy didn't speak that much, but they all had, like, different voices.
Like, oh my god.
They had different voices, so I would probably read another book of hers and see if she has, like, something longer that might be more my style. But overall, I mean, I didn't love it, so I think I'd probably change it to a 1.5. Just based on some of that other stuff. But it still cringed me out.
Like, I'm trying to think back from all the books that I've read with, like, spicy scenes. It wasn't the worst, I don't think. It was more realistic based on some other ones, but it just felt sudden and, like, too much too fast.
Yeah, other than the husband's, like...
Yeah. And then just suddenly that girl, like the Sierra girl, she's like, oh, don't call me Sierra. It's like Mrs. Suarez or something. Like,
Yeah,
you're not a mommy. Like, you know what I mean?
I kind of get what she was doing. She was trying to do, like, a master
Yeah,
domination type thing. But also, again, you have to have a conversation before you just start dominating
she was just like,
somebody.
call me Mrs. Suarez. Or I think that was her name.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name was, but yeah, she was like, didn't she even call the husband, like, Mr. whatever his last name was, too?
I don't remember. I just know that his name was Rick. That's the only thing that I remember. And I think she may have introduced him, and she's like walked in and was like, oh, hello, ladies. And she's like, you're gonna make my husband come, like, get over here, like.
Yeah, there was just a lot of things that I felt like, even if she had just, like, thought about them before going over to their house, been like, oh, if they surprised me with this, or if we all got together, or even just like that would have helped me a little bit. Again, some people don't mind, and they would have liked it. Yeah. But I just needed a little bit more of like I'm down for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think if, like, you read 200 to 500 200 to 500 page books with spicy scenes, I mean, the whole book isn't going to be all spice within all those pages, and then you finish with a book or a series, and you're like, okay, what am I going to read next? This will be like a nice little random something before you choose your next book or series. I think you'll be, like, fine. I wouldn't say it's, like, dark romance. Nothing, like, crazy happened. I feel like it was just straight sex. Yeah. Sex book. Like, there was no, dark kind of themes to it. It was just kind of literally a porn just on the page. Yeah. It was, and I was reading this in the gym. I'm just, like, walking on the treadmill, reading this book. I'm just, like, just kind of looking. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I freaking reading? Like, I mean, I wouldn't discourage you from reading it in public. I mean, unless you, like, are very visual on how you're feeling. Like, I mean, if you get, like, embarrassed or shy, then maybe don't read it in public, but...
Yeah. My face gets red sometimes.
I feel like sometimes...
So I probably wouldn't have read it in public.
That was the thing, because we were at the gym, and I was like, she's gonna think I'm, like, hot and bothered on this treadmill with my face, like, turning red, and I was like, I'm walking on a treadmill reading this book.
Because I had already read it, I kind of knew how you would react. I thought you would feel pretty similar, also because I know that you don't like regular people's stories.
Yeah, like, it doesn't have to, like, all be, like, like, fantasy characters, but, like, just all people, all, like, I don't know. I just felt cringy. Or, like, reading it. I was like,
I kind of felt like I was, like, peeping in a window.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm like, am I hearing? Am I the neighbor? Like, am I hearing them do this?
I only knew the stuff that I overheard, and that's why I was so uncomfortable. It was like, I'm not into voyeurism, so it was just strange.
Yeah. It was the first book. It was not book, an article. It was the first something, and it was. Yeah. I'm finished reading it, so I don't have to, like, revisit it. I'm not gonna reread it, like, ever. Yeah. But it wasn't the worst I've ever read. So yeah, again, if you like a lot of spice scenes continuously, this would be like a perfect palate cleanser, I guess. Yeah. I don't even want to say palate cleanser because they've eaten. Just like...
if you're looking for quick fix spice, it's a book. It's a good book.
Short, sweet, and simple,
Yeah, you can read it. I think I read it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It took me a little bit longer. Again, I was, walking on the treadmill trying to read this book, so.
Yeah, I was also trying to, like, make sure I remembered correct details, so when we talk about it, I wouldn't say something.
Yeah, I wrote some things down after. I finished the book, and I went back to, like, double-check names and things, and to see, like, when the spice started, and I was like, okay, it was literally halfway down page 7.
Yeah, I didn't go back and check, but I did notice that it was page 5 to 16, 11 pages.
Of...
Yeah, and only 2 pages, barely.
Yeah. And then, like, this, yeah, like you said, the story didn't really, like, end. I feel like it could have literally been, like, another chapter out of a story, and the girl's like, oh, well, now, haha, it's my turn to say trick or treat. Like, what do you choose?
I dn't like that
when she was
yes.
Yo,
That's what I wanted to say earlier.
Oh, shit, when she was screaming, treat, I want a treat, as she's getting pounded.
Yeah.
Like, she's, like, just,
and
like,
he shoved her face, like, in his wife's business.
Vagine.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. The part she's just screaming for a treat over and over. That was... I didn't like that.
Yeah, I did not like that one bit.
That also seemed porny to me, to where, like, they're doing the dramatic screaming, like, I'm gonna...
Yeah,
you know.
I did not. I literally just remembered that. I'm like, she was literally screaming.
Yeah, I wanted
treat.
to say
I think
that
she said,
earlier,
like, I want a treat.
Like, we should talk about the whole thing
you're
first.
right.
Yeah, and then the book just finishes, and she's, like, munching on her. And they're like, you should go to the pool. She's like, not until I finish first.
Yeah, and then she's like, trick or treat.
And
done. Book finished. Acknowledgements.
Yeah.
Thanks from the author. Like, yeah.
Even if it had just been, like, a hookup in a character's story, I feel like, again, if it was longer and I got to know the character more, I would have felt more comfortable.
Yeah, it could have even been like, here's, you know how sometimes authors are like, sign up for the newsletter for like a bonus scene? I feel like this was like a bonus scene to a much bigger book. I don't know if that's the case, but like, if it is the case, then maybe try to find that book first before reading this book. Maybe. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm not going to search to see if there's an actual book to this little, scene, but if you're interested, you can do that. Anything else?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Again, the book was called Trick or Treat by Hannah Altagracia.
Oh, one thing.
Yes.
I read it on Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, yeah.
It was free. Well, if you have Kindle Unlimited, it was free to rent.
Yeah, free to rent on Kindle Unlimited. I don't have Kindle Unlimited, but I was able to read it from her phone this time. So in the future, I'll be reading from Apple Books, and our pages don't sync up. So we'll be sure to talk about... He's trying to attack you. We'll be sure to mention different page numbers for certain things that happen, because something that happens for her, page 50, might not happen on mine until like 72, but we're at the same part in the book, so yeah. We'll definitely be mindful of the page numbers for Kindle Unlimited and for Apple Books. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to read it, or if you've already read it, let us know what your thoughts were. If you know,
how did you feel about all the assholes?
And treat, I want a treat. Yeah, so let us know how you feel, or how you felt about the story if you've read it. Would you like to read it? You can get it, Kindle Unlimited.
Yep.
Alright, we'll be back, I guess, with another video.
Yep.
We'll tell you about the next book in the next video. Alright. Bye!